If you found this free training, congratulations, because this is your one-way ticket out of addiction. In the next 10 to 20 minutes I'm going to show you exactly how I went from this fucking guy to someone who now helps people quit their addictions forever. The method I'm going to show you is completely revolutionary. I don't hear anyone else talk about it. It is completely different from the other traditional methods that doesn't work, and it's what saved me from years and years of drug addiction, gambling addiction, porn addiction, phone addiction, and whatever the fuck I was doing. And this is without discipline, without willpower, and without any cravings. I am not fighting myself every day not to take drugs. No, I'm just a regular guy living life now. I don't have any cravings, any desire. I don't want to do anything with drugs, or porn, or cigarettes, or weed, or whatever. In my identity, I'm not the same person anymore. But enough yapping, let me show you exactly who I was before. As you can see, I was smoking weed, actually synthetic drugs. Those are synthetic drugs that I was smoking. This is tobacco infused with rat poison and some other Chinese drug that to this day I don't know what it is. You can see I was doing cocaine in random places, doing nitrous oxide, methamphetamines, speed, MDMA, smoking weed. I was actually about to die here. This was on my vacation that I nearly overdosed. Like, you can see how fucking red I am. I am colorblind and I can see how fucking red this guy is. Like, look at this fucking piece of shit. Come on, man. This is me in the hospital after nearly overdosing and deciding that it will be a good idea not to eat for a few days to cleanse my body out of the drugs. So I passed out, I started twitching, and there is the result, me in the hospital. As you can see, a pretty big fucking degenerate, also a gambling addict, and yeah, I was a fucking dumb moron back in the day. Wasn't even really back in the day. I'm 117 days sober now. But as I said, this time it's completely different because I don't have any urges, any cravings. I'm just living life as a normal person and I fucking enjoy every day that I'm waking up. Every day now is a blessing. I actually want to do my work. I want to do hard things. I want to evolve in life and level up, and I don't want anything to do with these fucking addictions. So in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I did it and how I helped these guys did it and a lot of other guys that are still in the system but they're progressing through it. So I decided not to include their results at this point, but depending on when you're watching the video you can check my winners highlights and you'll see more of these guys. So this guy, for example, quit pain pills for 2 weeks straight, and this guy, if he didn't take his pain pills, he couldn't even wear a t-shirt because his skin would hurt from the fabric. Like, pain pills completely fucked up his nervous system and he wasn't able to do anything without them. You can go later in my highlights, hear his voice message. This girl right here quit smoking cigarettes. This guy got his energy back, kissed a girl in the club. That would have never happened before. I just feel great. Who would have thought not touching my eggplant and recognizing myself as a different person would make this much of an impact? So these are real people. This guy as well quit porn and masturbation. So people are really happy with this method and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is and how to apply it today so you have results today. But first of all, I'm going to tell you why you always relapse when you try to quit your addictions. And that was me for years and years on end. I started taking drugs when I was 17 years old and up until recently, I'm 24 now, so for 7 or 8 years I've been consistently taking drugs without successfully quitting. And just recently I was able to quit, and this time is forever because, as I said, I don't feel like doing it ever again. I'm not fighting with myself, I'm just living life. Now, I was failing before and a lot of you are failing as well because you are relying on discipline and willpower to quit your addictions. That is a losing strategy. You cannot ever quit an addiction on willpower or discipline. The most you can do is become a recovering addict, and that is what people teach in Anonymous Alcoholics and 12 Steps programs that I don't like. They call themselves a recovering addict. Now in a minute you understand exactly why this is so bad. But in general, recovering addicts have these negative limiting beliefs that their situation is different or that once an addict always an addict, and that's actually true, but I'll tell you why in a second. But the main point is that your discipline, your motivation, your willpower will deplete at some point. A craving will catch you just at the right moment where your motivation, your discipline discipline and your willpower are just not going to be there. And because you're still the same person on the inside, you're going to relapse. What you're doing is basically saying, oh man, I really want to smoke weed, or I really want to jerk off or look at porn, but I'm not going to do it because such and such, and you're fighting with yourself constantly every day, which I don't think is the right way to live life. The only real way to quit any addiction forever is to change who you are on the inside. And when you do, you're going to change how you perceive yourself, how you think, and then how you act will come in naturally. And not to mention, most of the advice that is out there completely fucking sucks. Just look at these tips to stop drinking. Like, start to reduce. What does that mean? How are you going to tell an alcoholic to start reducing how much he drinks? You cannot do that. Or change the triggering environment. But what if the triggering environment is just this person's home? Tracking your intake, also something that most addicts will never do. Talking about your addiction, let's be honest, it only makes it worse, and you understand in a second why that is. And keep going. It cannot get more general than that. Like, most of the advice for quitting addiction completely fucking sucks. It is some stuff like just stay strong, just keep going. An addict cannot do that. This is why the only way to quit your addictions forever is by changing your identity. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're an addict, you have all these identifying beliefs that I'm a porn addict, for example, or I smoke weed, I do cocaine, I want to play SWAT, or I have to take pain pills. And this may be objectively true, but I'll show you how to shift that. And actually, this is why an addict can never quit their addictions. This is why once an addict, always an addict. Because these beliefs are ingrained into his identity. He thinks he is that person, and someone who is addicted to cocaine cannot become unaddicted to cocaine. He is an addict by definition. So when you think of yourself that way, or even if your actions are that, then you cannot quit, because that further reinforces the cycle you're into. Now, the way to change your identity is to first disassociate from that old identity. Basically reject all the beliefs, all the negative limiting beliefs you have about yourself, and disassociate from that person. Say that you're not that person anymore. It is kind of like having bipolar, but you do it deliberately. You are deliberately identifying as a new soul that has just entered this body. You have nothing to do with this old identity's friends, with his behaviors, with his habits, with his actions, or with his thoughts. You are just not that person anymore. One quote that I really love from Alan Watts is that you are under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. And this is exactly that. Now, when you disassociate from that old identity, you're going to build your new identity, and that is going to be the person who you've always wanted to become. You're going to write out who this person is, what he does on a day-to-day basis, how he thinks, how he acts, how he treats people, how other people treat him. Basically everything you can come up with for that new identity. And once you have all these beliefs that you're a happy and secure person, that you're not a smoker anymore, that you hate drugs, that you're financially responsible, and that you're raw dogging life and don't need any substances to cope with life's difficulties, then you have to start persisting in that identity. And the key here is to really embody that identity, to think from his point of view, to act like he does on a day-to-day basis, to do his actions, and to keep repeating these beliefs. That way you disassociate from your old identity that was an addict, so now you're not an addict, and you start building your new self-concept that can be whatever the fuck you like. And that works because it's a way of brainwashing yourself into that new identity. As you may know, your brain works with the neural pathways you have formed by your thinking patterns. These neural pathways are formed by beliefs, actions, responses to certain situations, your feelings, your reactions, or even your posture. Currently, right now, you have the neural pathways of someone who is an addict, and your brain's job is to always prove you right. And if you think that you're someone who does cocaine, guess what? Your brain is going to prove you right, and you're going to do cocaine. And if you start thinking the opposite, if you start thinking that you're not a drug addict, that you don't like drugs, that you hate drugs, your brain is going to show you evidence of that. You need to start changing these neural pathways in your brain. You do that when you keep affirming these new beliefs and you live in that new self-concept. Then your brain fucking rewires, it completely rearranges in order to prove that you're this new person. And that is a life hack, a cheat code you can use for everything you want to achieve in life. This is exactly how I was able to go from this fucking guy that was fucking taking drugs every day, smoking weed, doing nitros, almost fucking ODing and passing out, going to the hospital, gambling all his life savings, to someone who is now completely sober and helps other people get sober. This whole thing that I've shown you is what I call the identity reset system. And that is the exact system that brought me back from the dead. In this system I explain exactly day by day how to completely change your identity and go from someone looking like this to someone looking more like this. It is the exact blueprint that has helped me and numerous other guys and girls quit their addictions forever. So if this video up to this point made sense for you, this system is exactly for you. I made it to help people that were in my situation 6 months ago, because 6 months ago I didn't believe there was a way out. I thought that there was no way I would ever stop taking drugs or go my whole life without taking drugs. As you can see, my mindset has completely shifted now, and if you want to do the same, you can check the link in the description. Also, if you want to work one-on-one with me and give you advice that is special for you and will apply to your specific situation, the link for the coaching is also in the description. Now let me tell you, if you don't want to get any of these, just sign up for my free newsletter, because I sent a lot of value there on how to quit your addictions, all for free. Thank you for watching, I hope we can work together, and I'll see you on the other side.